It's BumbleKast Live. I'm your host, Ian Flynn, the Bumble King, and joining me as always is my Bumble co-host, Kyle, JCRB Krause.
Hello, everybody. Oh, ho, ho. We have opened the floodgates for real this time. Oh, man.
Now you can start asking questions.
Yes. Go, 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 go now if you're listening to this live and you want to ask questions. Who knows,
If
maybe.
you're new to the show, here's a quick rundown. Ask your question one at a time in the chat. Don't ask anything else until your question has been answered, please. Big thank you to Jennifer R. and Professor Rye for managing all the questions that are just going to be pouring in right now. If you want a 90% guarantee that your question will be answered tonight, make it a super chat. Anything that we can't get to tonight will be rolled over into the next soonest possible priority Q&A recording session.
All right. I'm being told I can't hear anything on YouTube.
I got it.
Is that okay? So it's not on my end. Okay. All right then. Well, I don't have to worry about that then. I hope.
Yeah, I can hear it on my end too, so that sounds like a personal issue to me.
There's no reason why it shouldn't be coming through. So, if you're having issues hearing it, I'm sorry. We don't really have time to help you because we got a lot of questions already piling in. Holy crap! Oh, the super chats are coming hard and fast, Ian. It's great.
It's great. Let's get some standard questions done first.
Okay. All right.
The
Alrighty then. Well, I guess we'll just go ahead and start with this one from Lord Van Oscaro. Between the two, would Whisper wear a dress or a kimono?
Might depend on the dress. But I'm more inclined to say dress. Easier to move in.
Yeah, maybe. Who did I see draw her in a kimono? Was that Jen Hernandez? Might have been.
Maybe.
I think it was. It works. Well, either way, here's a question from Vlad C. Is dimension interchangeable with universe in regards to the Sonic multiverse, ignoring pocket dimensions in this case?
Generally speaking, yes. I'm sure there's something somewhere that makes it clear that they can't, but that's kind of how I use it. I try to just stick to universe to make it more clear, since dimensions can include the pocket dimension stuff. So, but I think generally speaking, it's okay to use that interchangeably.
Okay. Here's a question from Metal Skulkbane. Leo, Dewey, and Sonic, how would their meeting go? Mandatory karaoke aside. Why does Ben Schwartz have this retro teen blue animal typecasting, and who should be next? I call Buster from Tiny Toons.
He could probably do a decent Buster.
Yeah.
And between the three of them, there would be so many wise cracks that there would be a fault line in the earth. Just so much snark. You cannot get a serious conversation within a 10-mile radius.
So much snark. God, he would be just reveling in talking to himself. This is his time to shine. This is his one-man show. All right, here's one from Vixers. You mentioned a handful of episodes back that if someone asked you do this, can you do the Senator Armstrong speech with your vector voice, Mr. Flynn? Pretty please with a cherry on top.
All right, let me look that up quick.
Yeah, I don't have that on hand. We're not prepared. It's almost like we do this live or something.
I like how the prompt is Senator Armstrong's speech. Let's see.
Vector Armstrong. God, so many
All right.
is the super chats. Wow, they're coming so fast. Thank you guys so much. Wow.
All right. So get into vector, switch gears into vector mode. There we are. Just imagine the chain hanging around the lack of neck.
He's nothing but
I do
neck,
need
dude.
capital. I do need capital and votes. Want to know why? I have a dream that one day every person in this nation will control their own destiny. A land of the truly free, damn it. A nation of action, not words. Ruled by strength, not committee. Where the law changes to suit the individual, not the other way around. Where power and justice are back where they belong, in the hands of the people. Where every man is free to think, to act for himself. Fuck all these limp-dick lawyers and the chicken shit bureaucrats. Fuck all of it. America's diseased, rotten to the core. There's no saving it. We need to pull it out by the roots, wipe the slate clean, burn it down. And from the ashes, a new America will be born, evolved but untamed. The weak will be purged, and the strongest will thrive, free to live as they see fit. They'll make America great again. What the hell are you talking about? You cannot switch gears between Vector and Silver that easily. You still don't get it. I'm using war as a business to get elected, so I can end war as a business. In my new America, people will die and kill for what they believe, not for money, not for oil, not for what they're told is right. Every man will be free to fight his own wars.
All right. Wow. All right.
Also, there goes our all ages rating for this show.
Yeah, well, don't let your parents listen to this one, kids. Here's this one from S. Shining. Since Surge and Shadow have similar past, if she stops doing bad, would Shadow have empathy for her and help her find who she really is, since he was in the same situation before?
I think saying that they have a similar background is a big stretch. They're both synthetically created, but Shadow was legitimately created out of love. Gerald and Maria were foster family to him. He was welcomed. He was wanted. The fact that he was a weapon was kind of ancillary to all that. Surge did not have any of that. She was built to be a meta commentary. There was no love or support. She was conditioned into the creature that she is today. Shadow's kind of more of a victim of circumstance. Well, I guess Surge is too, to a degree, but I'd say they're different flavors. It's not a one-to-one parallel.
Not quite.
As for empathy or whatnot, not really. Shadow doesn't really have much emotional range. If she's causing a problem, he will stomp her. If she's not causing a problem, he doesn't care.
Yeah, pretty much. Here's a question from Ellie. Is it possible we could see Lanolin's original dress again from issue 1? I like Lanolin's new design too, but I also love the original one. I was wondering if we'll see it again someday.
I don't know, honestly. Now that she's in her Sega-approved design, I don't know if she can go back outside of like a flashback. Sega typically doesn't like us having the characters dress up in alternate outfits. But she's also an IDW original, so that might give her a little leeway. I don't know.
That's very silly. I don't know why I don't know if I like that restriction. That's very goofy. It's like I can still tell who the characters are, even if you put them in funny clothes.
Now, when Evan did Chow Races and Badnik Bases, she referenced official art for their warmer weather gear.
Yes.
But I can't remember now if she got that off scot-free or if there had to be a bit back and forth. We would have to ask her. I don't remember.
Well, let's go and switch over to some super chats. They've been patiently waiting, so let's get started. Here's this one from Levi C. Can Shadow use the emerald powers from Superstars?
I cannot comment on the origin, nature, or factors around the Emerald powers and superstars.
All right, here's one from Heroes Squad. Both Tails' Sky Patrol and Sonic Labyrinth's manual say that Tails was away. His 30th special says that Sonic was busy. So I want to ask, do both Sky Patrol and Labyrinth take place simultaneously?
In the original approach, you could maybe make the argument, but the official timeline is taking some liberties with that, so I can't speak further on it right now.
All right, here's a question from Supersonic Fan. If Rough and Tumble had counterparts in New York City, Boss Cage Mage, and No Place from Sonic Prime, what would they be like?
Identical all three times.
No change.
They are not deep enough to be multifaceted to be reinterpreted. It would just be street punk Rough and Tumble, like Gilligan's Island Rough and Tumble, and pirate Rough and Tumble.
You know what would be even funnier is if it's not it's not different counterparts. It's literally the same versions. They somehow end up always getting transported to wherever Sonic is, wherever they need to be for plot convenience, somehow.
Now, to be fair, the microphone, come back.
Oh no! Save it. Save the microphone.
Pirate Rough and Tumble, their intro shenanigans are done in the form of a sea shanty, but otherwise they're the same.
Yeah, of course. Here's one from Chocolate Watermelon 28. Any characters you see being interested or open to a polyamory relationship?
Here we go again. Can't wait for the discourse on this answer.
Stick your foot in their mouth right now, Ian. It might be a good idea.
In a non-official, non-binding, non-litigious position, I would say maybe Sonic. He seems kind of free and easy with the idea. Just, yeah, whatever.
Sonic don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stephen A. has a question. Oh, nope. I'm being told this needs to be saved to the end of the show. All right. Well,
I know what that means.
Well, yep. Hold on. Okay. You've got, okay. Yeah. All right, Stephen. We'll do it just for you. Here's one from Scruffy Matt. Blaze, Bean, and Omega join forces to become Team Blast. What prompted this unholy alliance, and what is Team Blast's Team Blast?
Blaze is out to do good of some sort. There is some overwhelming threat that must be confronted immediately and decisively, and she has to swallow her pride and admit that she alone cannot do this. So she seeks out those who would best suit her particular skill set and can deal enough damage in a short enough amount of time. Bean is going to come along because that sounds like fun. And Omega comes along because, I don't know, it's an Eggman-controlled Eldritch horror. And he will destroy anything that is touched by the Doctor.
Sounds good.
The Team Blast is the three of them just kind of pointing at the viewer, and then the screen goes white and you kind of go deaf for a little bit, and you're not quite sure where the flashbang came from, but now the game's started and you're halfway through the stage.
Sounds good to me. Here's a question from JJ Slider. How did the Sonic Soul survive his death from Mephiles, and Sonic's friends survive in limbo despite being erased by Time Eater? Does it connect to the soul resurrection from the storybook games?
Maybe. I would have to look into the storybook games and what they said about soul resurrection a little more closely, see if it's a viable concept across media. I'm inclined to say no. Sonic came back because the Chaos Emeralds are miraculous. And everyone endured in a state of non-time, meaning they weren't really dead when the Time Eater got to them. They just weren't temporally active.
Strange, isn't it? Here's one from Legendary Pro Skater. How do you think a story where Mephiles used Sonic Shadow as a host?
It would be interesting to see what would change about Mephiles' abilities. Like, would he still have the little shadow gremlins? Could he turn into the goo monsters? Would he have all that power still if he wasn't based on shadow? Come to think of it, he doesn't really have a lot of shadow-like abilities. It's just the shape. So
they just couldn't think of a unique design for him other than taking Shadow and sticking weird spines all over him.
I'm fairly convinced the idea was, well, what if Shadow had to fight his shadow?
Yeah.
It's deep because it's the same word. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's speculation on that point, but
goofy.
And to be honest, his fully powered form, that super over-designed, ultra crystallized look, I don't know if that would work on Sonic's base frame. With Shadow, it kind of works. It's like a very angry candelabra. But Sonic's spines go down. That might just make him look too top-heavy. I don't know.
Well, all I know is we got this question here from Frost K9. The story of Kung Fu Panda, but with Big inserted as the Dragon Warrior instead of Po. How does he handle his new title? Perfectly. He is the best Dragon Warrior in history next to Erdrick.
I mean, I'm not quite sure how you get the whole he's looking for Froggy to work across all 3 films, but I'm sure you can find a way.
Yes.
The training montage with Shifu is going to be a lot shorter, though, because Big inherently knows all forms of martial arts.
Well, he invented most of them.
Yeah. And he perfected them, so no one could defeat him in the Ring of Honor.
Exactly. All right, here is one from Hero Squad. Is Sonic's universe called the Chaos Dimension?
No, but if that's what you want to call it, knock yourself out.
All right, here's one from Chad T. Tangle and Sage switch intelligence. How do Whisper and Eggman handle this?
I feel like Tangle's a little... She kind of skates the edge of flanderized just because she's become such a quirky member of the ensemble.
Yes.
We can't dwell on her as much. She's not dumb. She's just excitable.
Yes.
And it probably would behoove us to take a moment to break up the teams a little bit and let the characters be explored individually again. And Sage, for all of her knowledge, is not necessarily wise. You know, the whole thing about Sonic teaming up with Eggman and that being a critical change in her scenarios is something she never even humored because she was told not to. You know, intelligently, yes, use every avenue. Look at every possible scenario, especially in an end of the world type of scenario. Getting a little redundant here, but you know what I mean. You know, pursue every avenue. If you have the data, if you have the ability to look at all the options, do that. If you have the infinite capacity like Sage does, but no, she didn't because Dad said no. That's kind of dumb. Like, if anything, Tangle would be the one to do it anyway and come back with Eggman saying, hey, look, so I know you said no, but I got like 500 million data sets saying you need to team up with Sonic and save the world. Okay. Yeah. No. God, you're dense.
Well, I guess that would be entertaining still. Here's one from System 509. Would Ian and Kyle be allowed to take part in fan projects if asked? I'm not sure on the rules for that for you guys. I mean, I can do whatever I want. You can't stop me.
I mean, you might have to be a little careful because you are adjacent. I mean, we've been doing this forever. It's not too hard to connect some dots and
8 years.
raise a stink, but yeah, but you are largely free and clear to do whatever you want within the creative space.
Yes.
Me and anyone else who is professionally connected to the franchise, it comes down to what they're comfortable with and what their contracts allow for. Contractually, I think I might actually be fairly in the clear, but I feel like my job within the Sonic franchise is almost wholly creative. So if I were to engage in the fan community in a creative way, I feel like that's blurring the line too much. There's too much potential crossover. It runs the risk of a fan project gaining a bit of legitimacy when it shouldn't, and that could cause problems. Or me taking something that was meant for a greater fan project and inadvertently incorporating it into canon, which isn't fair to anyone who's involved with the fan work because they can't get involved. Microphone, you need to settle down. So, okay, honestly now, we're live. It hasn't done this in any of the recorded episodes. All right.
Of course not.
I personally think it's just safer and simpler to abstain. And it kills me because there are tons of fun fan projects out there when what's it called? The continuation of the post reboot Archie stuff was getting organized. There was a part of me going, if I don't get a call within the next few months, I might just throw my hat in the ring because by God, I just want to continue to tell the stories.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they would let me on. But then IDW said, hey, you want to come back? And I'm like, yep. So that put an end to that thought. But I just think it's better for everyone if I just stay in my lane. If I am professional, work with professional stuff.
Right.
In the eventuality that I finally step away, or am made to step away if they don't hire me back.
If you're forced to step away.
Dragged kicking and screaming out of the franchise.
Yeah.
Then I'd be free to do that kind of thing again. I think I would want to take a break.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would still want to think about it though, because not to toot my own horn, but I am kind of connected to the franchise for the rest of my life now. And whatever I'm involved in will bring a certain perspective to it, both internally and externally. So it would be something to consider, but we'll burn that bridge when we come to it. Cross that bridge.
No,
watch that ball crumble and that cookie bounce.
No, we'll burn it. No, we'll burn the bridge. The bridge will be thoroughly burned. You're never going back. Here's a question from Armored Turtle. Sonic CD, but the only change is that Sonic is the one who gets a crush on Amy rather than vice versa. How does the rest of the Sonic series play out?
You finish the Stardust Speedway race and free Amy, and she's just kind of like, curtsy, thank you, and runs off, and Sonic's like, "Aw,
whoa, hey."
Not a ton to work off of in a lot of the classic stuff in general. Not official anyway, because she's mostly cameo, and there's not a ton of story with her in it. We get to modern, and I guess by Sonic Adventures, she's running away from Zero with Birdie, and Sonic's like, hey, you come to this town often? And she's like, running away from a giant robot, help later, bye. It's like, no, I can help. See, I fight robots. Amy, look at me, I'm fighting the robot. We get to Twinkle Park. Hey, says here, cute couples get in free. What do you think, Amy? That's a freaking robot. Come on, man.
Yep. Pretty much.
And he breaks into Prison Island to bust him out of jail for old time's sake. Ah, so you came all this way to marry me, huh? That's it. Leaving the door locked. No, wait. I'm just kidding. Open the door. Come on.
So basically, Sonic becomes Johnny Bravo. That's what I'm. That's what's coming in. That's what's coming around here. That's what the chat says.
Do the monkey with me.
Oh no. Oh no.
Gonna hit me with a hunka pico hammer.
Oh no.
Come on, Amy, give me some sugar. Got a speed, kid.
Oh no.
What you see is what you get. I'm just a hedgehog who loves adventure.
Well.
Okay, add to-do list. Redub entire Sonic series as Sonic Bravo. Got it.
All right. You do that really.
He's not you. It's not a speed. He's using a Chaos Emerald to warp.
God. Why do you do that so well? Why?
No snacks or in-flight movies. I'm out of here. Okay, next question, or I'm going to be doing this all night.
Yes. No. We need to move on. We let's go switch over to some standard questions for a little bit. Here's this one from Peanut. I hope this isn't too loaded of a question, but why does Sega want to avoid romance in Sonic so much? I mean, have you seen how people react to it?
I think it's probably better that I not comment, just because that's secondhand information at best. I can't speak for the company as a whole. And it's kind of internal stuff. There's only so much I can pull the curtain back. Suffice to say, it's not what they want the franchise to focus on right now for a number of factors.
Yeah. All right, here's one from Happy Times. Have either of you seen the new Superman cartoon? And if yes, what are your thoughts?
Not yet. It's on the list. It's kind of high on the list because it looks super cute, but I haven't had time to.
Yeah, it looks great, but I have not had the chance. Here's a question from Pedanticat. How would various Sonic characters react to someone promising to name their child after them after they saved their life? I can only imagine how many kids are probably named after Sonic.
Sonic be like, all right, cool. Zoom, he's gone.
Yeah.
Tails would be really flustered and goes, wait, do you mean Tails or Miles? Because that's very important. There's a very big distinction there.
Yes.
Amy would be flustered, but very touched. Knuckles would say, why? I don't get it. Mm-hmm. I'm Knuckles. That's not Knuckles. Whatever. Eggman would say, of course you would want to, but you can't. It's my name. Ivo, Robotnik, Eggman, doesn't matter. They're all mine. In fact, your child is mine. Boop, into a robot.
Yep. Right. There you go. Any others?
We have a ton of questions. Let's just keep it to the core cast.
Yep. All right. That works for me. Here's one from Raphael C. What do you think of the popular interpretation that the 8th Chaos Emerald in Sonic the Fighters is a copy created by Tails, just like in Sonic Adventure 2?
It's not a bad idea, but I feel like it undercuts the concept of the false Chaos Emerald in Sonic Adventure 2. Because within the context of the game, I believe that was meant to be more of a breakthrough creation on his part. Classic Tails is smart and certainly is talented with gadgets, but he's not to that level yet. So right now, the 8th Chaos Emerald for me is kind of a blanket cryptid within the MacGuffins. It's a legendary thing, and take Sonic the Fighter's story with a big old grain of salt anyway. And there's multiple 8th emeralds. There's the orange one, there's the gold one, there's that weird multicolored one that splits into other chaos emeralds with Sonic Blast. I don't know. So don't nail it down in my mind.
Yeah. All right, and here's one from Michael H. A Surgeon Kit game in the style of Shadow the Hedgehog. What are the choices, bosses at the end of each route, and endings and secret ending like? Wow, okay. We probably can't go into the whole, game design doc today, but
It's not so much hero neutral dark, it's just pick your target. Chase down Sonic, chase down Eggman, go after the power source so that you can beat up the other two in a later level. Honestly, I'm not sure if Surge would want to use firearms. I think she enjoys beating people with her bare hands, you know what I mean? Her own hands a little too much. Now, rip a stop sign out of the ground and beat someone in the face with it, sure. She'd be cackling as she, swat Sonic around. It says stop! Why are you flying around? Whap, 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 whap. And Kit as your constant companion is just going to be, ever reinforcing of this horrible stuff or giving even worse suggestions. She's like, I'm going to break every window in that building. Or if you destroy the foundation, you could break all the windows at once. You're a smart kid, Drippy.
Oh boy. Evil and more evil. Those are your only two options. There is no middle option.
Maybe that's how you split up the routes. Is she takes out one route is you take out Sonic, and she's deemed the ultimate villain of the world, and she revels in the attention.
Mm-hmm.
Or you track down her to destroy Eggman, and she gets crowned as the new hero of the world, and she doesn't know quite how to process that. But it takes the limelight off of Sonic, so hey, she'll take it.
Mm-hmm.
Or you find the ultimate power that gives her some insane power boost so she can take them both out. It's just like a to be continued. She'll go after each one. That's your new game plus route. There you go.
Yep. There you
follow
go.
the ultimate power route, play through again, and just curb stomp everything in the game.
Nice. All right, here's one from MSP Nova. Pikmin have entered Sonic's world. How would you picture some of the characters' reactions, including the IDW cast, to these tiny plant creatures?
I mean, Pikmin are minute.
They're very small, yeah.
Minuscule. Like fingernail sized. So I would imagine most of the Sonic cast wouldn't even notice them. Like if they were like Chow sized, then sure, they'd be, a new adorable critter to protect and take care of, and for Eggman to plug into some various mecha. What's the name of that big 2-legged thing with the red spots? No, the white spots, but it's red and orange. The bulbous glorpal florble or something like that.
Whatever he's called, I don't know. Bulborb?
Yeah, giant mecha version of that, powered by a bunch of Pikmin. There you go.
Bulborb.
Eats more Pikmin, and therefore it gains more power. Sorry, what?
Bulborb. That's what they're called.
Bulborb.
I guess.
Metal Bulborb. There you go. There's your nightmare fuel for the evening. But if we're being authentic to the size of Pikmin, I honestly don't think they'd notice them. They are like blades of grass, smaller than that. They would go unnoticed.
They're not even, I guess are they even smaller than ants? I don't know if they're that small.
I think ants are a good analog.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't think they would like not know that ants exist.
No, but it would be just like, hey, how they interact with insects in their present day, which is to say they don't.
Yeah.
Charmy aside.
Yeah. Olimar is apparently the size of a quarter.
Okay.
He is a tiny, tiny, tiny boy. So
they're like the size of sugar ants.
Yeah, they're very small.
Dinky things.
Yeah, well. Here's another one from Stephen A. We're going to switch over to some super chats for a bit. Ian, what's your favorite of the original Cartoon Network lineup of the 90s? Powerpuff Girls, Dexter's Lab, something else?
Oh, man. It's hard to remember what all was out during that day and age. But Dexter's Lab and Powerpuff Girls were definitely top tier stuff. I feel like I liked Dexter's Lab best when it was doing more parodies and homages of other franchises. And Powerpuff Girls was just great overall.
Yeah.
Single funniest episode ever was Los Dos Mojos.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Just that entire premise was hysterical. And there was another one where it's like just a day in the life of Mojo Jojo as he's trying to make his villainous plan of the day. But first he has to have breakfast, but there's no eggs for breakfast. And he must have eggs for breakfast because that is how it's the most important meal of the day. And one cannot start the day without a proper meal, which is the breakfast.
Yeah.
Pretty much anything with Mojo Jojo in it, okay?
What about Johnny Bravo? Oh, wait. No, hold on.
Johnny Bravo was
set you off
fun.
Again.
It was fun, but it wasn't one I like as actively sought out. Okay. Powerpuff Girls and Dexter's Lab, no, those I made a point of watching.
Powerpuff Girls was great. Of course, I didn't watch it till way, way later, but yeah, because I missed the whole boat on cable until like 2001. So
the only other thing I can think of at that time, I think was like Cow and Chicken, maybe?
I'm looking it up. You got Cow and Chicken, What a Cartoon.
Oh, wow, that was a grab bag.
Space Ghost, Coast to Coast.
Oh, yeah.
The early episode of that, yeah.
Space Ghost, Coast to Coast was like my introduction to surrealism. And this is why sharks and bears are nature's best friends. Unfortunately, when they make contact, they explode.
So they never will.
Who did he trade? What did he trade away? And Moltar wound up on a Japanese baseball team. Just, Space Ghost Coast to Coast was great. Brack Show, I didn't quite capture the same magic. It was funny in its own right, but that went away from the surrealist humor and started to get a little more to just like the stoner humor. And then we got into like Aqua Teen Hunger Force and Harvey Birdman and that stuff. Cow and Chicken was not my bag. Not a fan. Or I Am Weasel or any of that. Just not for me. What a Cartoon, hard to say, because that was a testing ground for various ideas. So there were some hits, there were some misses, but kind of wish it would come back just as an avenue to explore new ideas.
Yeah. All right, here's one from
a whole program devoted to pilots. Brilliant. Anyway,
that would actually be great. I would like to see that sort of that concept again. But alas. Here's one from good old Scurvy Pirate Hog. Amy Rose has said she'd follow Sonic anywhere, but considering how Sonic always runs and doesn't have a home, would she be able to handle Sonic's lifestyle? Could anyone besides Sonic handle it?
I think to a degree, yes. I think she's rugged enough and tenacious enough to go wherever he goes. But I think she also enjoys her creature comforts and being around others. And to be constantly on the road is to be away from your loved ones. So while she would follow him anywhere, I think she would eventually want to go home. She would want to go back to the people she knows and hang out for a while and enjoy their company before she set out on yet another traveling adventure.
All right, here's one from Oz Jam. There have been recent debates on secret identities and how characters react negatively to the reveal. So I ask, are the negative reactions justified? Also, how do you feel about the secret identities?
Secret identities and the reactions, it depends on the book,
Yeah.
depends on the character, depends on the tone of the world you set around it. Um, Stuff like Justice League Unlimited, it was not necessary for the most part. It was a factoid for most of these characters. So when there was an alternate persona, that was kind of more fun.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, like one of the best parts of the Thanagarian invasion is when the team meets up in their civilian identities and Bruce Wayne is just naming everybody. Now, Bruce Wayne Batman, that's different because that's kind of a dichotomy of the character. Which one is the mask? Which one is the true persona? How does each one interact with the different aspects of Gotham? That's a whole other exploration of the secret identity thing. And I think that kind of uniquely plays into Bruce himself. Superman, it's different because it's being Clark is in some ways a relief. It's time away. It's okay. Small tangent here. I won't. I'll try not to go too long. But to me, I never accepted the he's really a Kryptonian thing. That Superman is the true identity. He grew up Clark.
Yeah.
He grew up Clark Kent in Smallville as a good old boy out west. He's human in his mentality and his heart. He has Kryptonian physiology. He has Kryptonian abilities. He is Superman. There's no denying that. But that's his superpower.
Yeah.
That is the bonus that has been given to him because of his origin and the sun and blah, blah, blah. The person driving all that, regardless of the cape, is Clark.
Yes.
Clark is putting on the suit. Clark would jump in front of a train whether he's wearing the glasses or not. It's Clark. And being Clark just means he isn't being targeted and he isn't immediately going out to save everyone. He has a moment to be human again, and that's relaxing. And that's different. And then Peter, good old Peter Parker, he's just a crisis magnet. So the idea of putting just the smallest barrier between him and not only his normal life, but those who were close to him makes perfect sense.
Mm-hmm.
If we went through every single secret identity, we'd be here all day. It just depends on what you're doing with that character. What does the secret identity do for that character? How does it contextualize their lives and their super persona? And how does it fit within the world around them? Because within those three examples, you have very different applications of the trope.
Mm-hmm.
As for getting upset over it, again, depends on the characters and the relationships. I can understand why someone would feel betrayed. Something so immense about the life being hidden from them. I can see folks being excited. The hero worship that they've carried for this iconic figure is now to someone that they know. Or maybe that hero worship is now thrown out the window because the person they know is kind of a skeevy douche. Wait, family show. Can't say that. Oh, well.
We blew that. We blew that.
I already ruined that early
We
on.
blew that like 30 minutes ago.
So there is no universal, oh, it's good or, oh, it's bad. It really just depends on what you're using it for.
Right. All right. Let's move on. We got a lot of questions. Here's one from Hero Squad. Do the Origins Fox Bullies have official names?
No. I think they had like internal development names, which were like, don't quote me on this, but I think that was like ugly and stupid. But they do not have names, no.
Darn. Well, that's their names now.
Yeah, probably. Maybe it was mean and ugly or mean and stupid. It was non-flattering adjectives.
All right. Here's a question from Lord Van Oscaro. If Anti-Whisper's personality is opposite Whisper, and assuming she's still a mercenary, would she be more similar to Marvel's Deadpool or DC's Lobo? And would she have originally been more like the Whisper of the main universe and then like gone off the deep end or something, like the opposite
Yeah.
of this version? That's
I draw a closer parallel to Lobo, but
Mm.
yeah, that parallel, that trajectory tracks. So anti-Whisper would be very kind of reserved and taciturn, and then once her squad got nuked, she would completely let loose and have like zero qualms about collateral damage.
Hmm. All right, here's one from Shadnik the. A certain creator is releasing his comic as a reprint of the old Archie comics. That's not a question.
Mm-hmm. Not the first person to float this by me either. I understand the concern. I have no control over that. I honestly don't know who would have control over that. So best you can do is spend your time and attention elsewhere and let the chips fall where they may.
All I can say is good luck. Here's one from Fox Guy. Who resists the resistance? The
Eggman.
the villains. Yeah. the evil.
Or the New Order. Or
Or
what other bit of pop culture has used the resistance?
the new order, like the band from the 80s? Like, all right. Sure.
No, in Star Wars.
The New Wave band. I know. It's funny that they're called the New Order. They're gonna start breaking out into Blue Monday. What? What's going
Goes
on
along with the blue milk.
Oh boy. All right. Scurvy Pirate Hog has a question. Starline makes Ian Flynn and Kyle JCRB Krause imposters. What are they like?
Well, first off, I start with an Ian with two eyes. That's IAIN, just to vex him. He has better hair, a better physique. He's just a better person in general. Not that hard to do. As for Kyle, this second verse, same as the first. Just make him everything Kyle wishes he was and knows that he can never be. And then I operate a secondary show, BumbleKast spelled with a C. What is this K nonsense?
Yeah.
And they actually get their questions answered correctly. They keep their facts straight. It's a much better program.
It's very
Ring the bell, subscribe.
It is very matter of fact. No laughter. None.
No tangents. No Sonic Bravo.
No.
I think we're safe.
Yeah, we're probably fine. Of the Stars has a question. On another episode of Starline's Isekai Adventures, Starline finds himself in the world of Full Metal Alchemist. Ian, I just need you to find an excuse to have him use a Philosopher's Stone. Tricore / Warp Topaz style.
Ooh. All right. Well, he has to kind of keep undercover because at best he might be mistaken for a chimera. You can't really walk around the humans too easily. But once he gets his bearings, he greatly appreciates the concept of equivalent exchange. He can learn how to do alchemy pretty darn easy. It's just a matter of getting one of those pesky philosopher's stones.
Mm-hmm.
So he's already trying to be sneaky. Figure he stumbles upon Father, kind of pleads his case, explains what's going on, says he can be of great value to whatever his grand plan is. And Father knows he's being played, but Father is, the master planner here. So sure, the weird duck thing can get a philosopher's stone. And then, boy, howdy, that's a problem because whatever you think, you do. And he's not going to be content with just like big cement hands or large geometric constructs. He's going to be able to like fashion his own homunculi straight out of the ground. He's gonna have his own line of imposters of like Ed Allen, the entire bloody cast. Imposter Mustang? Yeesh.
Oof. Frightening.
I know we usually end this with the punchline of how he moves on to his next isekai adventure, but I honestly don't see how he loses in this scenario. Short of he gets too big for his britches and gets eaten by the truth, but
He would mess up somewhere. His hubris would eventually catch up to him. It always does. That's kind of the point. All right, here's one from Hero Squad. What if Starline became something like Ghost Nappa? I think
Eggman, tonight shall be haunted by 3 ghosts. They're all me. Hi.
Okay. That's right. Okay, I remember now. I'm like, wait a minute, Ghost Nappa. Okay. Yeah, okay. DBZ abridged. Got it. Okay.
And yes, Dr. Starline now sounds like Nappa. If he's going to be Ghost Nappa, he's got to go all the way.
It's almost a strong baddie voice.
Almost.
He
doesn't go bald, though. He's got to have those flowing locks.
Of course. Oh dear. Oh boy. All right, here's one from the Drippy Simp. Sonic/Bleach crossover. What do?
Sorry, I have watched like 2 episodes of Bleach.
Let's see.
There's a big sword. There's like a ghost realm. Kinda. Maybe they fight demons. There's a lot of characters. That's it. That is my entire experience with Bleach. I can't even riff. I am sorry.
Sonic Bleach crossover. All the blue runs out of him and into the other clothes.
Oh God.
What? That's what other Bleach are you talking about?
Never mind. I'm not even dignifying that. Next question.
This one's from Tempo. Gophers took the party hats. Will you get them back?
I'll try. Are the Gophers armed?
Probably.
If they are, not much I can do.
I'm assuming this is like a Caddyshack scenario. You're never getting anything back from them. Hello and goodbye as a question. After a random series of events, Amy and Shadow end up married with no chance of divorce. How do they deal with this, and how does everyone else react? What, it just kind of happens? Like what is there, like just a random time skip and it just happens, or what? Like they just nobody notices?
Mephiles comes back and punks them in the time stream. Okay, so they're bound by laws beyond their mortal comprehension. They just give each other their space. It's an open marriage.
I guess.
They understand that they have their own lives to live and will let each other express themselves however they feel appropriate.
All right, well, who knows what happened that one night in Casino Night Zone? Oof.
All I know is that Sonic kind of pulls up next to Shadow and goes, "Huh, your wife says hi."
Well, Butter Noodles is here with a question. Who's smarter, Mammoth Mogul, Breezy, or Clutch?
Toss up between Breezy and Clutch. Mogul has time on his side and experience, but that's about it. He is, for all of his 25-cent words and Machiavellian plots, he really doesn't know when to quit.
No.
Or take what's given to him. Clutch and Breezy, we haven't seen enough of Clutch yet, really. Of course, we didn't get a ton of time to see Breezy either, really.
No, we didn't.
We've had about the same amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of feel like Breezy made more of an immediate impact, but she was also more in the forefront.
Yeah.
She was kind of a focus where Clutch has made a point of staying in the back. So
Yeah, for now.
kind of hard to say.
Breezy's,
But they both like
yeah. Go ahead.
playing the long con. They both know the benefits of not playing your hand too early or being in the center spotlight unless it's to your own gain. Might call it a tie between them. Hard to say.
All right, here's one from Moz Jam. Fang the Hunter versus Craven the Hunter. Additionally, crashes out of the skies. Catella, the intergalactic space hunters, joins in.
Inclined to say Fang. If for no other reason that the climax of the episode is he figures out Catella's deal and convinces her that Craven is just such a hunky dude and lets her chase him off.
Well, that's very pragmatic of him, I suppose.
He has moments.
Yes.
He's cackling in victory while also trying to figure out how to get out of that tiger trap he fell in.
Yeah. When he doesn't have to worry about Bean being there, he seems to do a little bit better. Bean is the agent of chaos.
Bean is a nice excuse for his own failures.
True. There's also that. Here's a question from Smash Zapper 85. If you could introduce a new swordsman character into the Sonic universe, what would they and their sword be like?
Honestly, I just want to bring back Antoine and the subplot I had for him in the post boot. Swordsman character. You don't have a lot of weapons in the Sonic universe.
Well, I mean,
which is
Wispons, that's it.
Yeah, but they're still fairly new and they're very cartoonish.
Yes.
And I know there's a lot of physical violence, jumping on robots, punching robots, smashing robots, but for some reason, putting an actual replicable weapon in somebody's hand changes things ever so slightly.
Mm-hmm.
But they never said it was an actual steel sword. Maybe it's a Wispon sword. Cyan laser sword.
That's
Go full
right.
lightsaber with it.
That's right.
Torn between wanting to do some kind of callback to Black Knight and have a real world Caliburn or some kind of analog, or just let it be a standalone individual with their Wispon blade. That actually sounds really cool. Wispon blade.
Yeah, that does sound pretty neat. Wisp saber.
Wisp saber, yes.
That's a good one.
Okay, well,
we'll have to workshop
Wisp
this.
saber, then we're gonna steal from Mega Man X and make him Zero like.
All right. Okay, so he's going to become the more popular character than Shadow then. Finally.
But really, this comes back to any question we get about, what kind of character would you make? What is the point of this character? What are they bringing to the narrative? Who are they interacting with? What play do they bring that brings new information or new context to the core cast? Are they another weapon user like Amy? Is there something about their sword play that calls into contrast Amy's hammer use? Are they someone comparable to Tails? Are they using their gadgetry more offensively and personally than Tails' mecha and stuff? Are they a rival to Sonic? Are they a friend, enemy, rival, whatever to Knuckles? What is the character doing? Who are they and what are they bringing to the narrative? And they have a cool sword.
That's the most important part.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Here's a question from Might of Gabura. Ian, you're going to hate me. What's the relationship between dimensions of reality and worlds? Does worlds contain them or the other way around? I don't know. Also, that's the last cosmology question for today.
Okay. For the context of Sonic, we're going to say worlds are planets. They are spherical celestial objects that are within dimensions. I know the term world has been used in other contexts in other ways, but just for the sake of this question, to keep things simple, worlds are planets. Planets exist inside of dimensions.
All right. Well, I guess that works. Here's one from Scurvy Pirate Dog. The Sonic fandom really knows how to overreact about ships like Son Amy, Sonato, etc. But what is your favorite ship? Mine is the Black Pearl from Pirates of the Caribbean. Love that ship.
That is a fantastic ship.
It really is. It's a very nice ship.
Along with, oh, shoot. What is Davy Jones's ship called? The Flying Dutchman.
Yes.
Oh, the tri-cannons, all the portholes being angry faces. Oh, great ship, great ship.
Yes, it is.
The Serenity out of Firefly. It's a goofy looking horse thing, but I like it. It's got some character to it. And I know we've brought this up on some show at some point, the Defiant out of Star Trek.
Yeah.
Such a compact, badass little ship. Oh, I dig the Defiant.
I don't know about
and, Worf was captain of it, which just makes it even better. Come on.
Yeah. I don't know about you, but I miss the Ever Given. Nobody talks about that one anymore.
What's that one?
It's the one that got stuck in the canal, dude.
Oh yeah. The real world thing. Who can remember that stuff?
I know.
The Outlaw Star. That was a good ship too. It had arms. It could punch things. That's a neat ship.
Yeah.
It doesn't get stuck in
canals. Yeah. I'm trying to think of another good ship. It said stop posting gifs of the Titanic. That wasn't a good that wasn't a good ship.
That's crass.
That wasn't a good ship. That was a very bad ship.
Be classy, people.
Oh man. I always like a good flying ship, to be honest with you. Like a good like a steampunky or like a Victorian style airship. Those are cool.
Yeah.
I like those.
I mean, anything and everything out of Skies of Arcadia.
Yeah.
Like, don't ask me to pick one. The answer is yes.
Yeah. Just a cool flying pirate ship. That's a pretty awesome. I like those. Those are fun. All right, here's one from Lord Van Oscoro. Rebel Rouge, Prim Rouge, and Baton Rouge find the classic heart chest suit. Which them dares try it on?
Heart chest. Oh, Rouge's standard outfit. Rebel might. I mean, it's fairly lightweight. It's easy to move around in. Not a ton of armor, but at least that front piece looks to be able to take a hit. Baton Rouge, if she takes it, it's her bounty. She can use it however she wants.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe change of clothes would be nice after being out at sea for goodness knows how long. Prim Rouge, not so much.
Here's a question from Twilord. Do some humans have Nermies style names? We know some Nermies have human style names.
I assume most of them do. Like, everyone in Sonic Unleashed had a normal human name, didn't they?
I don't know. Go ask Bob the Human.
Aside from Professor Pickle. Okay. Besides him.
No, someone could literally actually have the last name Pickle.
I suppose.
What do you think this is, Ian? Pickle is a name that could be real. I'm just saying.
I mean, you're not wrong. There's probably Mr. or Mrs. Pickle out there.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, we gonna call him Robotnik the Egg then? Hmm.
Eva Robotnik is probably somebody's name out there anyway.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And for pity's sake, Nintendo has a Doug Bowser and Sonic has oh shoot, what is Evo's name? Oh crap. Sorry, boss. Oh, I'm blanking on my boss's name. Live. Perfect. Great. Lovely. Next question. Hurry.
Next week, Sonic is fired. Or next week, Ian is fired from Sonic.
No.
Restless Central has a question. The work you've done on the Sonic comics have been great, but the Rivals comics have been received quite poor. Is lack of connection a reason for this?
I haven't seen a ton of feedback on the Rivals books outside of one particular video essay that couldn't have missed the point harder if they tried, but uh that's one individual. I haven't seen a ton of feedback, to be honest. And part of that is distribution has been a nightmare of the
Yes.
digital only books. We wanted to do more, but nobody on the team really knew how to do that. So I honestly can't say because I don't know what the critiques are that you are referencing.
Yeah. Yeah. Makes sense. All right, we got a question from Hero Squad. Does Captain Jack the Raccoon ship have a name?
Not that I'm aware of.
Well, time to make one. Someday. Not right now, though. Here's one from Supersonic Bros. What's your opinion on Sonic SatAM and the characters?
Good stuff.
I mean, it's
Um,
one of the things we grew up on.
yeah, there's a reason why it has entrenched itself into the minds of so many. Season 2 is so much stronger than season 1.
Yeah.
It's kind of startling going back and watching it again. Like going through season 1, it's like I see the ideas, but this is
It's a little slow.
weaker than I remember.
It's a little
And then
slow.
season 2 really locks in and is like, okay. This is what I remember. This is the good stuff. Solid animation for the time. Excellent voice acting for the era.
Yeah. The voice cast is outstanding.
Like impressively so. Fun character dynamics. Fun archetypes. What? It's a solid show.
Yeah. Still holds up. All right, here's one from Hearts 13. Dr. Starline is reborn and reincarnated as a slime as Rimaru's twin. How would the anime change with him tagging along, and what powers would he gain? What would Veldora name him, and would he try to become a demon lord? I gotta be honest, I have no idea what Hearts 13 is referring to. I know they're referring to an anime, but...
Yeah, that's the thing. There are so many anime now that are I was reborn as, or I am this or that, or Demon Lord reborn as Fry Cook. I can't believe this. I have no idea which one in particular.
Oh, and
that you're referring to.
reincarnated as a slime. Apparently, that is the name of the show.
Yeah.
Okay.
Haven't seen it, don't know a lot about it, so can't really say. Short of, assuming some basic tropes of, slime enemies in RPGs, because that's where I don't know why so many isekais default to you're reborn inside of an MMO. Like, why that specifically? Unless you're like trying to bait developers into making some kind of cheap phone gotcha to rake in the money. I don't know. But suffice to say, Starline in a fantasy world, thinking he's being reborn as a slime, has the humiliation of being such a low level mob. But once he works out the systems and the rules of the world, starts working towards gaining the power and the authority he needs to become, I don't know, the next level up if they evolve like Pokemon, or team up with whatever monsters or warlocks or other nefarious figures are within this fantasy world. He's going to find a way to climb the social ladder and the power scaling ladder until he is back in a position of authority.
Mm-hmm. I think you're trying to put Starline into an actual isekai. I don't know. That seems like counter to the spirit of the whole thing, man. He goes into other weird things.
And they're getting to the point where there's one that just came out where the person is isekai'd into a vending machine, but in yay old fantasy setting.
Yeah.
So, although I've heard it's actually a decent watch, I don't know.
All right, guys. Have we already cut them off yet? If not
announced, but I can do it.
Yep, we're gonna go ahead and cut off standards now, and we will keep the super chats open, but we will definitely not be getting through all of them today because we have so many. We have 83 currently. And that's just on the super chat side. No, that's total. That's total. So we're about halfway through.
Oy.
So
okay.
Yeah, let's blast through them. Here's one from Gideon W. Here's one from Gideon W. When visiting Egg Depot, does Tails stick hard to a pre-planned shopping list, or does he get lost in the infinite possibilities of the tube aisle?
He has set himself a rigorous list because he has gotten lost in the past. That rigorous list is fed to him via a headset that blinds him to the immediate surroundings and keeps him on a preset path. Like he is seeing a digitized HUD that is leading him through the aisles with only the things he wants highlighted. Everything else is blued out, so he can't be distracted, so he can't impulse buy. He's not going to get that ficus again. He doesn't even like raising plants. Come on, he just has the one on his shelf, and that's all he needs in his life. He just needs to get that PVC pipe and be done with it, okay? He'll be out of here in 30 minutes tops.
All right. Here's a question from Frost K9. More movie crossovers time. If E.T. were to land on Sonic's world, how would they treat this alien creature?
Very well. I mean, they are pretty open to just about anything that lands on the planet, and E.T. himself is a swell fella. Like, shoot, if Sonic and Tails find him first, he'll phone home within an hour.
Yeah. Makes sense. True Cosmic Digilab 79 has a question. Hey, Ian, do you think if Eggman did a Mario Bowser inside story with the second Great Salvation, would the teach end up in a new human girl? What with it counterpart end up in Sonic? I
got part of that.
What do you think if Eggman did a Mario Bowser the Inside Story with the second Great Salvation?
Stop there.
Okay.
So Mario and Bowser Inside Story. So we're assuming a premise where the heroes have been ingested by Eggman somehow, and they have to do cartoonish adventures within his innards to fight off evil and save the day.
Okay.
Who else is involved?
With the second Great Salvation. But the teach...
I don't know what that is.
But the teach end up in a new human girl with its counterpart end up in Sonic.
There you've lost me.
I'm afraid I do not... I'm afraid I do not understand.
Let me Google quick. Second Great Salvation, right?
Yeah.
That brings me to Hebrews 2:3. So
yeah.
I don't know what that reference is.
No. That might not be it. Teach end up in a new human girl.
The doctor, the professor,
The to teach the
So
doctor.
Eggman turns into a human girl.
What?
Bowser becomes Sonic.
What? What? I'm I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Mr. Digi Labs, but we're having some trouble parsing this one. So sorry about that.
Sorry. Gonna have to keep on rolling.
Yep. Solaris Stain has a question. Who would be willing to hit below the belt in Sonic if given the chance? Usually that scene is cheap, but if the threat calls for it, why not? I mean, considering how tall Eggman is compared to everyone else.
We're not going to debate the relative positioning of the belts in this universe. We'll be here all day. Anyone on the Babylon Rogues, they'll fight dirty. Shadow will. Rouge will if she absolutely has to. She has some professional pride, but she's going to get the job done. Omega doesn't care about belts. When you've been turned to ash, it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Sonic, if really pushed into a corner, he wouldn't really fight dirty. But, if he's just kind of lashing out, if it happens, it happens.
Yep. All right, here's one from Might of Gabura.
And Surge. Surge would do it on purpose. That's her first strike.
No, I mean, yeah. I thought that went without saying.
Anyway, Might of Gabura.
Yes. Here's one from Might of Gabura. Are all versions / languages of the Tales tubes canon and applicable until and unless said otherwise?
Sure.
I mean, if they don't contradict each other. If they do, well then, have fun. Here's a question from...
Or think of it this way. Tails is presenting from his world to ours. Whatever language you are interpreting it is because of dimensional transference. There you go.
Mm-hmm. Here's one from All PG. We know how Shadow is post Maria, but what was Shadow like living with Maria? Not really looking for any canon or word of God answers, but more of what you think Shadow was like back before his tragic backstory hit the fan.
That is a good question. I think that's very open to interpretation. I think the comedy answer, obviously, is that he's happy and peppy and bubbly and goofy, but realistically, I would imagine him just being very quiet and observant and not nearly as confident and resolute as he is now. He is, as far as we know, the only hedgehog on the arc, which will make him feel like he stands out. Everyone knows that he is a manufactured being. How much they know he's made from evil alien DNA, probably limited, but still, it's Professor Gerald's special project. The last thing he had was a salamander that could fit on a bus. Now it's a hedgehog. That's kind of weird, but he seems well-mannered. So I just imagine he would be very quiet and just kind of watching and taking things in, trying to get a feel for just what life is around him.
Mm-hmm. Here's a question from ZOV. It's a bit late, but as a follow-up question to the Big Brother Blues universe, how would Tempo meet her human siblings, and what kind of character arcs would she have with Daddy Light and Stepbro Blues?
I can't remember exactly what we said last time, but she would have been... I don't think she would have ever had the personality reset. Even if the catastrophic damage happened with the rest of the family there, with Light there, I think they would have convinced Nora to... No, not Nora. Sorry, thinking of a different Lalinde. They would have convinced Ma to restore her to as she was. Even if it was like a backup of data from like a month ago or something, and help her adjust to the fact that she kind of missed out on a bit. And this is Tempo 2.0. which could be a very fascinating exploration of the self and a family dynamic. But we are trying to get through a live show.
Yeah.
Other siblings, she'd be the fun older sister to rock and roll. Easy peasy. And sass right back with Vesper Woman. Would not take any guff. There would be fun bickerings between the two of them. I don't know. She'd be fun. She'd be happy. It'd be nice for everybody. It is a good timeline.
Yeah, I suppose. Legendary Pro Skater has another question. How would you personally like to see the canceled spin-off game where Shadow and Sonic explore the Black Arm's home planet? Would you like to use Eclipse?
Well, we did explore the Black Arm's home planet, and then we blew it up with the Ark.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I think what I that's the joke answer, but I think I know what you're getting at. That if the Black Arms didn't originate from the Black Comet, where did they come from? Is there a world that the Black Comet originated from? Is there a central hub, and was the Black Comet just a symptom of a greater disease? Which, oh yes, I have gone down this mental rabbit hole myself. Oh, the possibilities. Kind of begs the question of what would a Black Arms world be like? And presumably it would be like what the Black Comet's interior was. This eerie mishmash of terrain and biologics where you can't quite tell what's burrowing out of the stone, what's growing over the stone, what is the stone. All the liquid around, is that water? Is it goo? Is it some kind of internal juices that makes it go? You can't really tell. Bioluminescent membranes that act as hallway corridors. You're not even sure if you're running inside a rock or inside the guts of something. So an entire planet's worth of that could be fascinating, could be horrifying, could be fun, could be gross. Get down to the core of the whole thing, and it's one gigantic doom's eyeball. Going spelunking, Shadow.
Yep.
I see you. Socks are like, whoa, mama.
Oh, okay. All right. Oscar the Bearcat has a question. Now that Sonic is part of LEGO, are there any team-ups with LEGO properties you'd like to see, such as Ninjago and Bionicle?
That would probably be limited to Lego Sonic, which is its own kind of, I don't want to say franchise, bubble.
Yeah.
Lego Sonic is its own thing. It definitely takes its cues from modern Sonic, but it's in a much more lighthearted way. It's kind of like a almost modern Sonic, but with classic Sonic tone.
Mm-hmm. Something like
And
that.
there's a certain irreverence within the Lego properties. Like Lego Batman is not synonymous with Batman. Same goes for Lego Sonic, which is great. It allows them more creativity on their side. They can do fun, creative stuff within the context of Lego and put a Sonic spin on it. So with that context, sure, whatever crossover they come up with. And since Lego has gotten its hand in like every single cookie jar now, it's a little sad that Lego Dimensions is done, right? That's
been done. That's been done for a few years now.
Yeah, which is too bad because that was it.
Yeah,
that's the crossover.
Yep.
You just throw all the toys in there and you go nuts.
Yep. Oh well, maybe someday in the future. Although I am receiving a good suggestion of teaming up Lego Batman and Lego Shadow.
Yeah, my parents are dead. My Maria is dead. We're best friends now. Yes, I know. Is it lobster bisque? Of course it is. Do you want some? Of course I do.
Hero Squad has another question. Does Triple Trouble take place after 3NK's events?
Yes.
Apparently all the Game Gear games take place after the Genesis games now.
Yep.
I don't like it, but I guess this is what peak retconning looks like. We got another one from OzJam. Time to talk Sonic VAs, and it's Amy Rose. From Jennifer Douillard to Lisa Ortiz to Cindy Robinson and Shannon Chan Kent. What do you like from each one?
Gosh. I think it's kind of impressive that they've all been along a similar timbre and presentation, even with Amy's wild changes in characterization. Like, Amy has almost always sounded like Amy, regardless of delivery. It's just been kind of universal, which is incredibly impressive, not just for the talent, but for the direction.
I do like I mean, Cindy's great, but I'm just like always thinking like when I think Amy, I think of her SA1 and SA2 voice, so that's kind of what I'm tended towards, but that's just me. I'm really actually not familiar with Lisa Ortiz's turn as Amy because I didn't really watch much Sonic X, and Amy's not in the games very much at that point, really. At least
Would that have been, was she Amy in Heroes?
no.
Okay.
That was Jennifer.
Okay.
Yeah, she was Sonic X and anything after 2005 to 2010. So up until
Let's see, so
between Shadow and Colors, or between Heroes and Colors.
Okay, so Shadow and 06 and the Riders games.
Yeah.
And to all their credit, being told you have to be the bubbly, chipper, always high energy, but also have range with that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, it gives me a headache just thinking about it. So
yeah,
I can't think of.
She's had a surprisingly consistent sound. So even between.
And again, they like we've been saying, they've been so consistent throughout. It's kind of hard to think of a standout moment between any of them to just highlight any individual actor. It's just they've all done a solid job throughout.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean they're all great. It's really best we can say at this point. We're kind of crunching on time, so let's go ahead and keep on rolling. This one is from Supersonic Fan. If the minions from Despicably Me got jobs for working for Eggman, Starline, or Zavok, what would happen? How would they get along with their new bosses?
Eggman would treat them as badly as he does any other robot, but as long as they are functional, he'll tolerate them. Starline would be tired of their antics incredibly fast. He would spend a lot of time deliberating over whether their functionality balanced out the noise. I think ultimately we just go, I could do better, and just shuffle them out the door. Zavok would see how far he can throw each one of them off Lost Hex one at a time.
I guess that makes sense. All right. Did you say Starline?
Yeah.
I'm looking at this. Sorry, I'm looking at this list. I'm like trying to figure this out. I think I'm going to change something real quick here on the fly. So just as a heads up, if you have already had a super chat answered today, that's it. I'm not answering. We're not going to answer any more from you for the rest of this episode. So if you've not had a super chat answered yet, we will at least do one, and then we'll see if we have some time to get back to some standard questions. So
Except for Stephen A, we already told him we do
Yes.
his at the end.
yeah, Stephen A's song. We'll wait for that. So anyway, also for that, Ian, look up the Stonecutters song or Yakko's World, whichever one you want to sing,
Yakko's World.
or Wacko's World, or is it Yakko's World? It's one of those. So anyway, should I keep going?
Oh yeah, go.
Okay. Here's one from Tharja IBW. The Japanese voice actress for Styx called Shadow Hot, and now I'm imagining the anti-government conspiracy girl having the hots for a government agent. It's not a question, but I do appreciate it. It's funny.
I mean, it's fun. You know, she's drawn to him, but she can't accept that. She doesn't know anything about him. He works for the man.
He's the
There's
man.
too many connections, too many questions, and yet there's that mysterious dark allure.
He's the man now, dog.
And he's all like, "Who are you?" And she's like, "He doesn't even know me. He acknowledges I'm off the grid. Swoon."
Nice. All right, here's the one from Mace. Hey, Ian. Hey, Kyle. Let's say Zavok ran into Mechasonic, be it Mark 1, Mark 2, Scrapnik, etc. How would their battle go down? Would their battle go down the same way it did with Metal, with the former's magnetism taking control?
Yeah. I mean, his electromagnetic abilities can take control of machines. Period. Which is boring for these kinds of matchups. So let's pretend for whatever reason he can't do that.
Yeah.
Straight up sumo-esque grudge match with Mecha 1, that would be cool, but he'd tear it apart eventually. Mecha 1 would get a couple solid hits in, but Zavok would win. Mecha 2, give him a lot more trouble because it's far more nimble. Not quite to Sonic's level, but enough that Zavok wouldn't be able to just power on through. Still think Zavok would be able to come out on top, but he'd be hurting for it later. Mecha 3, we haven't seen the specs. We don't know what he does. So we'll toss that out right now. Scrapnik Mecha, I'm gonna just pull a word of God and say a meteor hits Zavok because I can't stand to even joke about Scrapnik Mecha getting hurt. That precious boy must be protected. That badass cloak cannot be further tattered. I won't allow it.
He is such a badass, though. All right. Meta Mode has a question. Which Sonic characters know how to do their taxes? I'm pretty sure we've answered this before, but Amy.
Tails.
Amy.
Vector, just because, they don't really have a lot of income. That form goes real quick.
Yep.
You just put a lot of zeros in all the columns.
Mm-hmm.
Eggman does, but he doesn't do them anyway, because what are they going to do? Throw him in jail?
Yeah, I think that's about it. I don't think any other. I don't think anyone else can do it. I mean, Jewel.
Oh, sure.
I think Jewel does everyone else's taxes. Jewel and Amy. All right, here's one from DDR Master M. Another body swap. Tangle and Jewel body swap. How much of a train wreck unfolds?
Okay, so Tangle figures out what's going on real fast and just is super careful about everything. Like, she doesn't even fly. She walks. She is not going to get her best buddy hurt. She knows exactly what's going to happen if she tries to, fly or do anything, and that's going to be disaster. And she respects Jewel too much, so she's going to just sit in the office and not touch anything. And she's going crazy because she's not going anywhere or doing anything, but she respects Jewel too much. And this suit is so nice. How does she keep it so clean? How are these folds and lines just so immaculate. She really needs to get some like laundry tips. Nope, not going to make a crease. Going to just sit here and be good until this reverses itself for Jewel's sake. Best friend, going to do this for her. Meanwhile, Jewel can't get out of the house. She is crashing into everything. She's falling over chairs. Inanimate objects are jumping out to bite her, it seems like. And she gains a new appreciation for Tangle because this gangly thing can barely make it across the room, and yet Tangle is able to fling herself with precision. She's a genius. She's an acrobatic savant. She never appreciated just how talented her bestie was. So, okay, next time Tangle comes crashing through a window, she's not going to lose too much patience with her.
Yeah. All right, here's one from Shibumi Tanuki. What if Surge had taken a bit more time between supposedly dying and acquiring the Dynamo Cage? How would Kit have fared if he had to live with Sonic and Tails and interact with them?
I imagine Kit would have switched gears to be hyper codependent on Sonic.
Yeah.
This is the new authoritative figure who is, positively reinforcing me. I must stick to him like glue. And this other little orange thing is muscling in on my territory. I need to find a way to drown him.
Yeah. It's still not healthy. Never healthy.
No. Like there would be enough near misses where Tails would finally go, okay, Sonic, he's trying to kill me. And Sonic's like, maybe he's just having trouble adjusting. Sonic, he has a toaster suspended in a water tail and is approaching me right now. Okay, I'll handle it. Okay, Kit, buddy, need you to put the toaster down, okay? No, put it down. All right, don't make me use the harsh, adult voice with you now.
Uh-oh.
Kit, you put that toaster down right now.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
Damn it. Finest Cacophony has a question. Starline in an Old Spice commercial. And action. Oh, boy.
Okay. Compose myself. Look at me. Do you stink? Of course you do. How do you stop that? With Old Spice. How do you apply it under your arm, idiot? I've already done it myself. Why? Because I'm a genius. You can be a genius almost like me if you use Old Spice.
Is he riding a horse?
Yes, I built it myself.
Okay, good. Good thing he didn't go the Terry Crews route, huh?
No, that's Knuckles.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, here's one from Roman Ocean. How would you design playable Tangle and Whisper? We haven't talked about this before.
Yeah, Tangle is straight up the Avatar character's grapple hook out of Forces.
Yeah.
That's 3D Tangle. And Whisper is, I'm not quite sure how you would manage toggling through various Wispons on the fly without it being too super complicated. I mean, you could maybe do like a weapon wheel, but that slows down the gameplay. But she's also supposed to be sneaky, shooty. So maybe that is better to do it that way.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But again, she's based primarily on the Avatar out of Forces. So, 3D movement, you got your variable Wispon. Maybe she can pick up other Wisps for individual, like, environmental puzzles for temporary boosts. But yeah, those are right there.
All right. Here's a question from GeoKnuckles. How many MHA characters would join Knuckles Chaotix team from Archie?
Oh, man. I think to a point where you can't really distinguish who is who anymore, team-wise. I think
Mm.
they're all just My Chaotix Academia when you get down to it.
Wow. Well, makes sense, I suppose. Right, here's one from Noxide. Did you know Gaming did a video on Lost Sonic games? I wanted to ask, what project did you like the most?
I loved their insight on Sister Sonic
Yeah.
and how my understanding of it, and I think we had just recently released a BumbleKast related to that.
Talked
And I
about
was
it a little
spouting
bit.
the old misinformation that we didn't, and Did You Know Gaming came out and corrected that. So I was like, oh wow, I wish we could go back and change it. But that was fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
I still wish we could take a glimpse into the timeline where we did get a Sonic game based on Popful Mail and see how the franchise fell out from there. But it is what it is.
Yeah. Here's a question from Excel Hedge. Starline Isekai adventures continue. This time he finds himself in the sooty city of Saint Canard. What villainous team up happens? How does he deal with the huge egos of Negaduck and Darkwing? He has three Darkwings now, basically, in terms of ego size, in terms of flamboyance.
What were the villain team? What was the villain team called?
Oh crap!
Was it the Felonious Five?
It might be. I'm forgetting.
Basically,
Fearsome
he would invite
5.
himself. Fearsome Five. Okay, he would invite himself onto that team, and be a little impatient with the quibbling over. Well, they can't be the Fearsome Six. It loses the alliteration. You're not wrong, but I think we're missing the larger picture here. Really motivated by all the various powers and what you can do with them and how easily you could rule St. Canard with an iron fist or leafy fist. Yes, Bushroot, we're not excluding you. But the goofiness and the selfishness of each individual member would really start to grate on him. It's like Eggman's obsession tenfold, even worse. And Negaduck, especially for all of his ferocity, is a loose cannon. And I mean that quite literally. The cannon is loose. It's rolling around shooting at things. Tie it down.
Tighten that thing up.
So, he would absolutely try to usurp power and bring things to order. And the other five just don't like taking orders. It was more of a mutually beneficial confederacy. They aren't really going to be ruled by anyone. Yeah, they followed Negaduck, but that's because he scared the crap out of them.
Yeah.
Starline, not so much. So if the chainsaw doesn't get him, the water electrocution plants and what was the other one? I'm forgetting. Quackerjack.
Quackerjack.
Exploding Cupid dial.
Yeah.
Yeah, Starline isn't going to last too long there.
Liquidator is like the forgotten one.
I always remember Liquidator. He cracked me up, and he wasn't a duck.
Yeah, I always forget Liquidator. Like, I don't know why. He doesn't seem like he has that the presence that the other ones do, but I don't know.
Maybe. Smoke grenade goes off. I am the terror that flaps in the night. I am the truck that rearranges your reality. I am Darkwing. Oh, what did you do to him?
All right, here's one from Joe M. Is some version of X years later canon to the main timeline of Archie, since Silver's future had Edmund, who was implied to be Argyle and Laura Sue's son, and that photo of the future freedom fighters?
We were playing fast and loose with that, with the idea that some incarnation of Light Mobius maybe sort of happened. It was a incarnation of it was possible. I think it was something along the lines of, because of all the time travel and dimensional shattering that had gone up to that point, that Silver's future was almost variable. That there was so much chaos between the present and the future that timelines kind of overlapped and bled into each other. So it wasn't really clear how one got to the other.
All right. Here's a question from Hannah Banana. Let's say Sonic and Shadow are handcuffed to each other for 24 hours. How would this go? What fights would occur? What would they do to pass the time?
Oh, Sonic would be trolling him the entire time.
I'm going to say.
There is some kind of peril that they have to stop, of course. They can't just sit it out. And so they would be racing along, same speed, Sonic trying to see who's faster despite that fact. Your classic, like, Jackie Chan-esque physical humor. You know, they get caught around a light pole and neither one wants to back off to go around the other side. They fight something that's, very dangerous, and they're each ducking and weaving and pulling the other one to their feet seamlessly, almost like they're figure skaters, while also bickering the entire time about who should hit where and move. And then for the coup de grace, they meet Eggman, or the final villain of whatever the menace is, and the handcuffs get broken apart. And they have just this moment of realizing they're separated, and then they still manage to win the fight perfectly in sync without going more than an inch separate from each other.
I mean, that sounds about right. So how would Sonic troll Shadow? Is he going to pull out the old Sonic Bravo?
Well, trying to accelerate just to see who's faster.
Oh, yeah.
Randomly going into a spin dash and pulling him into it. How many Shadow, think fast. Humming attacks off to the side. Would you stop that?
How many times did they get a little too close to,
holding hands?
Holding hands, yeah. Things like that. Oh, no. Oh, no.
The metrics on this video are already going to be good enough. We don't need to go there.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, here's one from the first Chewbacca. Tangle and Tails swap tails. What happens?
Well, Tails is very much grounded. He cannot figure out how to get that tail to go in the proper direction, and it's so freaking heavy. How do you launch this thing, let alone grab? And she would answer, but she's currently like smacking off of every wall, getting caught in the ceiling fan, flying out the window. How do you go forward? How do you go backward? Tails out! You stop this crazy thing.
She just keeps going up and up and up and up.
Like you thought she was chaotic, flinging herself off the stretchy tail. She's like a model plane where you can't control it anymore.
Oh no! Oh no! It's like when
yard looks like a war zone. What happened, Tangle?
It's like when your RC drone goes out of range. Boom,
exactly. Gone. The first time you try to fly your drone.
Or an upside down helicopter. Ah! All right, here's this one from Happy LGPK. Is there going to be an IDW comic about Sonic the Hedgehog Saturday morning cartoon?
Probably not.
Unfortunately, I'm sorry. I wish there was. Here's a question from El Technopada. Question for our friend, Piers Corner Bro. Since the comics were just a heavily inspired spin-off initially, did IDW Sonic try to kill King Arthur as in the games? You there?
Sorry, I lost the thread there. Run it by me again?
All right. Since the comics were just a heavily inspired spin-off initially, did IDW Sonic try to kill King Arthur as in the games? Like asking...
IDW Sonic is modern Sonic. They're the same Sonic.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, so there's no difference.
So yes.
So yes.
No.
Yeah,
Black Knight is canon to IDW.
Yes, IDW Sonic is modern Sonic. Yes. So. All right, here's one from Sonic Mania 2099, and this will be our last priority question. Super chat. Will we eventually answer? Will we eventually the answer of what happened to the humans in Sonic during Forces and the Metal Virus arc?
I don't know if we'll ever make a dedicated reference to it, but they were menaced by those events as well. We just didn't see them. We've said this before, but just because you didn't necessarily see it on page doesn't mean they were whisked away into the ether. We didn't see Chemical Plant Zone. Well, no, that's a bad example. We didn't see, I don't know, pick a random. We didn't see Soliana in either of those stories. Does that mean Soliana just suddenly vanished? No, it just means we didn't go look at Soliana. We didn't go to Marble Zone. Doesn't mean Marble Zone or that section of South Island is gone. It's just we didn't go everywhere. We didn't see everything.
But Ian, I don't have object permanence.
Well, close your eyes and that'll make it better.
Close your eyes. Anyway. All right, let's do a couple standard questions.
Woo!
Okay. Super Shark Bait has a question. Oh no, Tango's been exposed to the Pym particles from Marvel, giving her the ability to alter her own size and mass. What madness ensues? Oh no. Oh no.
The death egg crests over the mountains, its shadow blanking out the sun across an entire continent. Tangle steps up, stretches out, limbers up, does a little Taibo, and then grows to an equal size and launches herself as a death egg sized cannonball and knocks that whole thing out of orbit. And then as she gracefully falls back to Earth, she shrinks down to ant size so that through the power of cartoon physics, she doesn't go splat. And then spends the rest of the afternoon swinging between blades of grass as a gift to herself.
That's right. Perfect. Beautiful. Here's one from Yes. You said before Shadow would be an eternal solitary wolf. Actually, no, that would be Whisper. However, he said on a Twitter takeover he has no problem marrying someone if they accept his 3 rules. What were his 3 rules?
I don't remember, but I don't think anyone could healthily adhere to them.
I don't think anyone could healthily adhere to Shadow.
Well, I mean, Sonic was adhered to him with those handcuffs. They got along all right for a little while.
Okay, yeah, well, Sonic's like the only one. Let's be real.
Count as being I don't think handcuffs really count as being adhered to something.
Maybe it's close. It's close enough.
The things I do for the joke.
Clean linen sheets daily. That was one of them, apparently. All right. I mean, I don't know why he would even care about any of that. According to Sonic Boom, he lives in a cave.
That's full of clean linen sheets.
Oh, okay.
Get it right, heathen.
I kind of love that apparently the direction they got was specifically to try and make it obvious that Shadow does not live in this cave. And yet everyone just assumed that Shadow lives in that cave. Welp, so much for that.
That's what happens when you hamstring your writers.
Yeah, pretty much. Michael B has a question. Team Dark has been hired to look after Cream. What bad habits does she pick up from each member?
More like what sins does she manage to absolve them from?
I mean, I do quite enjoy the idea of Shadow teaching Cream good gun usage. habits.
No.
Don't put your
Good
hand.
bike maintenance.
Don't
Good.
put your finger on the trigger until you're ready to shoot.
Omega raises that question. I am always ready to shoot. I wasn't talking to you.
That's not a question, by the way, but oh well.
I mean, Cream is such a precious, innocent cinnamon roll that Rouge actually feels bad that she's stealing the family's fine china. She does it anyway, but she actually feels bad about it.
I was going to say not bad enough to not do it, though, right?
I mean, they're heading out the door, and Vanille's like, thanks for looking after them. You're welcome, Rouge. Put them back. Oh, come on!
Well, maybe Rouge would teach Cream how to pick locks. Something simple. And then Cream never uses that skill. She has it, but she'll never use it.
Where is Omega? Putting Cream to bed. Rockabye, baby, in the treetop. When the wind blows, the cradle will rock. When the bow breaks, the cradle will fall. You will survive because you can fly by your ears.
Thank you, Omega. Thank you. All right. Here's one from the Sonic Theorist. Sonic Prime is Season 2 spoilers. Is Sonic Prime still canon to the mainline continuity? I ask this because when Sonic meets Chaos Sonic, he acts like he's never seen a robot doppelganger before. So...
Yeah. I can't get into all of it, but yeah, Prime is still considered part of the mainline.
There's a lot of inconsistencies. Don't worry about it. Here's one from the Saxon. Hey Ian, what is something you loved or respected about Ken Pender's work as a writer? I'm not exactly a fan of his work, but I have to acknowledge he did not stay 15 years because he was bad. Talked about this before a little bit, I think.
Credit where it's due. He was excellent with the story hook. Each story ended with some kind of cliffhanger. There was some kind of lingering question or doubt that made you want to continue to read to get that answer.
Yeah.
And with the interconnectivity, it inspired, it drove to go back and get back issues to get all the pieces to the puzzle and see if you can put it together.
Yeah. But then there was no payoff. Just constant cliffhangers. That's okay though. We're supposed to be talking about what we liked about it. So yeah, I'm with that. I'll go with that. Red Rebel has a question. Are Wisps okay with killing if their target is an evil person? Whisper's gotten pretty close to offing Eggman and Mimic, but her Wisp didn't seem to try and stop her.
In general, I would say no, but I think Whisper's crew has seen some stuff and might be of a different opinion.
Yeah. All right, here's one from Zism TG. I miss Chaos Zero. You mentioned he was meant to appear during the first IDW arc. Can you tell us more about it and other scrapped IDW plans?
The original pitch was that when Neo Metal took over Angel Island and took the Master Emerald as a power source and got the biodata to transform into Metal Overlord again, Chaos was going to be pumped through his system as a coolant. And part of the big final fight would be releasing Chaos so that it could help release the Master Emerald and depower Metal Overlord.
All right. We can't go into other scrapped IDW plans. We're short on time, but here's one from Darker. Random idea, but since they have the same past, amnesia, manipulated, created, disliked the world, wanted to destroy the world, what if Shadow and Surge are a couple?
I don't think Surge is a literal destroy the world type. She's more of a tear down society and dance on the ashes type of thing. Whereas Shadow was quite literally blow them all up and let God sort them out. So, but he's well past that.
Yeah.
It's just a phase, Mom.
Mm-hmm. No,
So
my
at
real
this
dad,
point-
Dad.
At this juncture, they would be diametrically opposed to each other. He is protecting the world for whatever reason, and she really wants to tear it down. So they would be at odds. But that's not your question. If we're talking like pre-climax SA2 Shadow and present Surge, God, I miss that kind of Shadow. The snark, a little bit of swagger.
Yeah.
I don't know if they necessarily get romantically entangled, but I could kind of see them working together for the sake of causing misery to Sonic. Antagonistic besties, maybe.
Maybe. Maybe. All right, Ian. Well, we're over the 2-hour mark. How are you feeling? Do you want to keep going for a little while, or?
Honestly, Vector Armstrong kind of wore me out, and we've been going for a long time after that.
Okay, you want to do? You got a song in you at least?
I can get through Yakko's World, and then I think we're gonna have to wrap it up there.
All right. Well, that sounds good to me at least.
All right,
So we will do that.
Stephen A.
Stephen A
wanted.
Stephen A is
He gave me an option.
Yes.
And sorry.
Whichever will
Read
not
it
destroy your
official.
throat. Yes, he asked, Ian, can you sing either the Stonecutter song from The Simpsons or Yakko's World? Whichever will not destroy your throat will be awesome.
And both are incredibly tempting. But I think I'll go with Yakko's World just because it's a little simpler. Don't know if I can reach the speeds that Rob Paulson did, but
That's okay. We'll have to save the Stonecutter song for another time. But that's a good one.
oh yeah.
That would be fun.
Do we have to do that one eventually? We do.
We do.
We do.
We do.
All right. So, The Nations of the World brought to you by Yakko Warner. United States, Canada, Mexico, Panama, Haiti, Jamaica, Peru, Republic Dominican, Cuba, Caribbean, Greenland, El Salvador, too, Puerto Rico, Colombia, Venezuela, Honduras, Guyana, and still Guatemala, Bolivia, then Argentina, and Ecuador, Chile, Brazil, Costa Rica, Belize, Nicaragua, Bermuda, Bahamas, Tobago, San Juan, Paraguay, Uruguay, Suriname, and French Guiana, Barbados, and Guam. Norway and Sweden and Iceland and Finland and Germany now in one piece. Switzerland, Austria, Czechoslovakia, Italy, Turkey and Greece. Poland, Romania, Scotland, Albania, Ireland, Russia, Oman, Bulgaria, Saudi Arabia, Hungary, Cyprus, Iraq, and Iran. There's Syria, Lebanon, Israel, Jordan, both Yemen, Kuwait, and Bahrain, Netherlands, Luxembourg, Belgium, and Portugal, France, England, Denmark, and Spain. How does he do it this fast?
A lot of practice.
India, Pakistan, Burma, Afghanistan, Thailand, Nepal, and Bhutan, Kampuchea, Malaysia, then Bangladesh, Asia, and China, Korea, Japan, Mongolia, Laos, and Tibet, Indonesia, the Philippine Islands, Taiwan, Sri Lanka, New Guinea, Sumatra, New Zealand, then Borneo and Vietnam, Tunisia, Morocco, Uganda, Angola, Zimbabwe, Djibouti, Botswana, Mozambique, Zambia, Swaziland, Gambia, Guinea, Algeria, Ghana, Burundi, Lesotho, and Malawi, Togo. The Spanish Sahara is gone. Niger, Nigeria, Chad and Liberia, Egypt, Benin and Gabon, Tanzania, Somalia, Kenya and Mali, Sierra Leone and Algiers, the humming Edna Bibia, Sengola Bibia, Libya, Cameroon, Congo, Zaire, Ethiopia, Guinea, Bissau, Madagascar, Rwanda, Mahar, and Cayman, Hong Kong, Abu Dhabi, Qatar, Yugoslavia, Crete, Mauritania, then Transylvania, Monaco, Liechtenstein, Malta, and Palestine, Fiji, Australia, Sudan. Woo.
You got hung up on Djibouti.
Yeah, I did. You know what? That was a stumbling train wreck.
You gonna try?
We'll do both.
You gonna do the other one too? Are you sure? All right, we'll do both.
Stone cutters. Karaoke.
Yakko's mom's spaghetti. What?
All right, let's give this a look through first. It was the British Crown. System down. Off the maps. Who keeps the connections under wraps? We do. Who holds the electric car? Who makes the Guten a star?
I don't think. Ian, I don't think this is how you're supposed to sing it.
No. Practice run.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Yeah.
This doesn't count.
No. That's just the practice because I'm not super familiar with that. That's just the practice run.
Okay.
I don't know. All right. So. It's the British Crown. Who keeps the metric system down? We do. Who leaves the scientists on the maps? Who keeps the Martians under wraps? We do. Who holds back the electric car? Who makes Steve Gutenberg a star? We do. Who keeps each of their sight? Who rings every Oscar night? We do.
A classic. Very good. All right, guys. Well, that's it for this episode.
Thank you so much to Jennifer R. and Professor Rye for managing all of this. Thank you, Kyle, for being with me for 2 hours.
Yes.
Thank you to everyone who submitted questions. Thank you ever so much to everyone who supports the show with your super chats and are patient with us as we move on to the next priority Q&A. We never anticipated that it would be this successful and we would need to do catch up on these.
No, we did not anticipate that anybody would give us money for this stuff.
Truth be told, these 2-hour live sessions are kind of exhausting, but I do look forward to them.
They're
because
fun.
You guys make it a lot of fun.
Yes, they are fun. I feel bad. I'm sorry for everybody who's tried to ask questions. They can't get here early enough, or they don't have money or whatever to jump ahead of the line. So that's why I did that change, but halfway through to try and get a few more standard questions in because, I feel bad. So I want to give you guys a chance too. So I think we're going to stick with that going forward. Actually, we'll do one super chat per person. And if we have time, we will then go back and do more, but
yeah, that makes sense.
So at least we can get some more of the standard questions in because we get a lot of those and people are very patient. So yeah.
And give you guys a heads up. End of September, I'm currently slated to be at Fan Expo in Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
That is the last weekend of the month, which is where we would normally do the show. So BumbleKast Live will be early in August.
Yeah,
we'll give you guys the heads up as much as we can since we'll be going off schedule for that month.
Yep.
Anything else before we wrap it up?
No, I don't think so.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us for the BumbleKast Live for July. God, we're already in July. Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. And we'll catch you next time on the BumbleKast. Ciao.
Oh.